All right, let's talk about the full moon in Aries, October the 9th, 2022. Now, if you caught my last video where I covered the month of October, I did touch a little bit on the full moon and what's happening in the month of October. As I mentioned, this is going to be a very important and impactful month of the year. We are in cardinal season, meaning there's a lot of energy around initiation, new beginnings, and of course, change. Now, I also did record in another video for the new moon in Libra that we had almost 2 weeks ago. I mentioned the order of the tarot cards going from Justice in the major arcana to the Hangman to Death. And I want to revisit that because this is going to explain actually what we're going through right now. And it's going to offer a little bit of very interesting guidance actually when you think about it. So in tarot, in the major arcana, you have in exact order, you have Justice, then you have the Hangman, and then you have Death. And Justice is represented by Libra energy. The Death is represented by Scorpio energy. So we are in Libra season right now, and we just stepped into October, which is going to initiate a lot of change, a lot of clarity, a lot of certainty, maybe taking initiative to do something different or to move into a new path or to create change that is going to result in great transformation as we move into Scorpio season. So we are in the midst of transitions and transformation. Very important words to remember, transitions and transformation. Now, with Justice, in my other video of the new moon in Libra, it is very much around truth, balance, fairness, equality, of course, justice, the karmic law of cause and effect, or the universal law of cause and effect. It very much represents the principle that what we put out into the universe, our thoughts, our actions, our intentions, our feelings, all have some kind of consequence. All create something in our outer world and within us as well. That's why it's so very important to always be aware of this, even outside of Libra season, of course. This is a general rule. But as we are in Libra season, as we are in cardinal energy, this has a very strong effect at this time. What our intentions are guiding us towards, the change that we are going to create, or the change that we feel inspired to make, will have some kind of consequence as the outcome, good or bad, challenge or an opportunity. So we have to also look at all the different factors. That is a very strong archetype of the Libra energy, is very much of discernment, gathering information, looking at all sides, looking at all the possibilities of what can happen if we make a certain move, if we make a certain choice, if we make a certain decision. It all has some kind of impact. That is, again, a very strong trait of the season that we're in right now. Another very significant trait right now is truth, our truth. What do we stand for? What do we want in our future? What do we want in our outer world, in the collective? What is truth for us with an unbiased viewpoint, with knowing internally what is important for us? What is our guiding light? What is our truth? And again, of course, being able to see the truth in an unbiased way in the outer environment, in our outer world. And this will initiate change. This is a very strong energy to work with for, again, discernment, for understanding what works, what doesn't work, what needs to change, what needs to adjust. But this is, again, very much a time of change, being ready for transformation. So when we know what we want, when we have a bit of a certainty, when we have guidance, when we want to bring and instill balance into our lives, then change needs to naturally happen because we're adjusting. We're initiating something. We're realizing something. And that is part of Hangman. So we go from Justice next to Hangman. Now, Hangman doesn't necessarily have a zodiac assigned to it, and it's completely fine. It doesn't need to, because it is all about enlightenment. It's all about enlightenment. So it comes after Justice. Justice is, again, looking for the truth within matters, the law of cause and effect, becoming clear with our truth, becoming clear with the truth of our outer world or the collective, bringing in balance into our lives. Then we move to enlightenment. It's where we let go. It's where we surrender. We pause. We understand more about ourselves. We understand more about our bigger picture. We have clarity and truth within ourselves. We see things differently. We understand things differently. The Hangman is the full moon in Aries, because after the Hangman, we have Death. And death is Scorpio energy. Then we move into transformation. Once we have clarity, once we have an understanding of ourselves and a greater viewpoint of our reality, of the collective, of this incredible time in our life, of historical, monumental time in our lives, I should say, and your life as well, of course, then we see things differently. We can take a step back, we can surrender, and we can let go. And that very much is what the full moon in Aries is representing. There's going to be intensity with this full moon. There's going to be a fire with this full moon. There's going to be impulses during this full moon. There's going to be things coming to the surface. It may be uncomfortable for some of us. It may be fiery. It may be intense. It may be placid for some. It's going to affect everyone differently. But this full moon, because of Aries energy, because of the full moon, the traits of the full moon, what the full moon does to us on an individual level and as a collective, it brings energy up to the surface. It is a shakeup. It stirs energy and emotions up within us. It stirs our passion within Aries energy. It's very much a passion. It's very much of our fire, our spirit. Things are going to come to the surface. And when things intensify, we need to let go. We need to just surrender and pause and observe. And then we understand more about ourselves. Then we understand and we feel into our body, we feel into our soul, we feel into relationships, and we gain a greater understanding when we let go, when we surrender. The energy is going to intensify for a lot of us, for you out there as well. Now, the full moon falls on the 9th day in the 10th month. And in my other video, I talked about the significance of the numbers. Nines and ones are endings and beginnings. The 1 signifies beginnings, which is a little bit of the Aries archetype, the new beginning, the birth, the rebirth. And the 9s signify endings. Now, we just had a 9th month in September, so we had a month of endings there. But now we're brought back into endings again on this day. Now we're going to have a very impactful full moon regarding endings and beginnings. So take note around this full moon, what is falling away or what needs to fall away and what needs to be reborn in its place. What can be created in its place? Where are you going? What do you want? What do you feel inspired towards? What is your truth and what is your guiding truth? What do you believe in? Where can you, yes, maybe on Libra energy, bring some balance and harmony with that understanding, but also being aware of what needs to change, what needs to maybe initiate. Remember, through surrender and through letting go, we gain more. We gain more understanding. We gain more insight into life. And we also get to see our future more from a very powerful and pure place within. We also see what's happening in the world as far as the truth, an unobstructed viewpoint, an unobstructed vantage point. Then after the full moon, the day after the full moon is the 10th, and it's a 10-10 day, it's a 10-10 power day. So it is all of new beginnings. So there's going to be something coming to the surface, either a realization or a purge of energy or letting go and releasing. That's what full moons do. Offer a time for releasing, a time for purging old energies, a time for realizations, a time for even information coming to us to find us that we need to hear or that we need to know in order for us to maybe move on, in order for us to create something new. We have the 9th, and then the 10th is all new beginnings. So you have basically double ones. The 1 and the 0 amplifies the number it is next to, which is the 1. So we have 2 ones that are amplified by zeros. So it is going to be a fresh start. Now, when we go into fresh starts, when we go into new beginnings, there also needs to be the death and the understanding and the letting go. And that is where we're moving into Scorpio season, which is the death in the tarot, which is all around transformation. So we go from transitions to transformation, transitions to transformation. We need all of these energies, even though sometimes, yes, they are uncomfortable. They are essential for our growth. They are essential for our ascension. They are essential to let go of what doesn't serve the old limiting energies of the past within us, our own beliefs, our old energies, our old traumas, our old wounds, our old subconscious belief systems, everything, even relationships, even in the physical world as well. This is all going to play out. And then, of course, yes, we go into the Scorpio season afterwards, towards the new moon eclipse in Scorpio, which is going to start eclipse season. And that is very much of transformation. So I'm going to, of course, upload a new video for that specific new moon as we start to prepare to go into the underworld. I am also going to be hosting my full moon circle on the day of the full moon on the 9th. Now, I hope you can join. It is going to be very special. I am now incorporating some very deep and powerful healing work for releasing into these rituals, into these circles, as well as practices for manifestation. But the full moons are extremely transformative. So hopefully you can join. They have been beautiful, beautiful groups. I'm now offering it as a donation with a set base price. It's open to as many people as possible. So there's meditation, there's going to be release work, there's going to be a group reading, as well as going into the Aries archetype of how to work with Aries during this time and how to incorporate all of these factors of what I just mentioned into this one date for you to work with it for your transformation, for your journey. All right, so I do hope that offers a bit of guidance at this time, as it is a very, very important time. This is going to be big energy that we're stepping into. So hopefully you can join the ritual, as it is going to be hugely impactful. I'm wishing you all the best, and I will be seeing you very soon. Take care.